increase the fire rate. I'm not going to use a silencer. Typically before we'd use the silencers for position concealment, but in today's class setup I'm going to be adding the recoil booster for the extra fire rate. And then for the barrel here, we're going to want to add something that is going to make this gun really accurate and controllable, so it does take away all those recoil disadvantages, and that being the 317 04B barrel. And you can see the pros here, highly accurate and controllable, and then there's reduced scope sway and gun bob. For optic here, we want to add something that's very clean. You could run the slate reflector, but personally I just like the iron sights on this weapon, because if you do run the slate reflector, you can still see the iron sight here at the end. So I am going to be running with the ISO 2M sight. And then for the stock here, guys, we want to add something that's going to increase the mobility. We're not too worried about the recoil cons, because honestly there's barely any visual recoil on this MP40, so no worries about that if we do add something on that does have recoil cons. So throw in the remove stock for that extra hip fire accuracy and movement speed. Then for the perk here, we're going to want to add something that's going to conceal our position when we're going across the map, because we are using the recoil booster instead of the silencer, so we still want to be hidden on the minimap, and that way we're going to run unmarked here for the position concealment. For perk 2 here, we want to add something that's just going to increase our mobility, being our sprint speed or movement speed, and that is quick, and that just adds extra sprint speed. Okay, and now for the rear grip, this is really important. Swag does use the fabric grip for that ADS speed, but I would strongly suggest you use tape grip, because it does have that increased weapon swap quickness. As we all know, that amp doesn't really help with Vanguard weapons, but I strongly recommend you guys use taped over fabric grip. Then for the magazine here, we're going to go ahead and OD the fire rate. We're just going to add another attachment that's going to increase the magazine capacity as well as the fire rate, and that being the 45 round mags. You can see here recoil control, movement speed, ADS speed, and then lastly the fire rate. The ammunition here, add something on that's going to deal damage over time, that being the incendiary rounds. You can see it adds extra damage. And then lastly for the underbarrel here, we do want to add something that's going to help us control the weapon a little bit and add a bit of accuracy. So throw on the hand stop here for that recoil control and then the accuracy. All right guys, so there's sway.